Hi, welcome to another episode of MYD Global. I'm your host, Leanne Hackman-Carty, and this is my assistant, Zoe. And the reason I got Zoe with me today is our interview is with Jennifer Leary, and she's actually a firefighter in Philadelphia, but she's also the founder of Red Paw Emergency Relief Team. And she's going to talk about the work they do in helping protect, rescue, and prepare people to make sure that their pets are protected when it comes to an emergency. So stay tuned. Hey, nice to see you, Jen. How are you doing today?
I'm good. Thanks for having me.
Good. Well, I just want to know, first of all, before we get talking about your organization, just tell us a little bit about yourself, your background.
So I'm a Philadelphia firefighter. I've been a firefighter for 13 years almost. January will be 13 years. Prior to that, I started with the American Red Cross as a disaster responder. And also I ran the county animal response team for Philadelphia, which is a group that goes out during larger scale events like a hurricane or a wildfire, though we don't get too many of those here in Philly, and we'll set up pet shelters with the Red Cross and the Office of Emergency Management if larger events happen and people need to evacuate to shelters with their pets. So I did that for a while, did the Red Cross response stuff for a while, got onto the fire department, responded with the fire department. And then that's kind of how Red Paw started. I saw that we were filling all these needs for large scale disasters, but there wasn't anybody responding to the everyday disasters as far as pets are concerned. So that's kind of the background. So I've been doing Red Paw for 9 years as well.
Wow. So Red Paw Emergency Relief Team. So you founded it.
Yes.
And so just tell me about the organization, how it works, how it's funded, what you do.
Yep. So we're a nonprofit organization. We were founded in 2011 following a large apartment building fire here in Philly where all the people were out of the building. I actually responded with my engine company and fought the fire, and then realized that there were still pets in the building and no one was doing anything about getting the pets out. And it happened to be that it took almost 2 months to get every single pet out of that building because no one had planned for something like this. The fire department didn't have a plan in place. The city didn't have a plan in place. Nobody was there to advocate for the residents about their pets. So it turned into a big thing. City council members got involved. And right after that, I went to the fire department and the Red Cross and the Office of Emergency Management with a plan to implement Red Paw. I mean, and that took a while, meetings and, red tape and all that stuff. But July of 2011, we started responding with the fire department to residential disasters. Residential meaning house fires, etc.
Okay, so when a fire, when the fire department gets a call, do you automatically get engaged just in case there's pets there? Is that how it works?
Yes. So there's been a bunch of different models that through the years, like we started out waiting for the fire department to call us. That wasn't really working. They're doing other things, obviously, so they're not really concerned with calling us about pets. They're concerned about putting out the fire, overhaul and all that stuff. And so we went back to the drawing board, got some input from the fire department and other partners on scene, and decided it would be quicker and more efficient for us to automatically respond to the fires and canvass the residents themselves to see if they had pets and if they needed our assistance. So what happens now is we automatically get a dispatch from the Fire Communication Center anytime there's an incident. We send one of our responders to the scene. They check in with the fire chief's incident management and then to let them know that we're on scene for accountability purposes. And then we start canvassing the residents if they're on scene to find out if they have pets, if the pets are still in the house, if they need us to go in and get them, or if they need some sort of service, we'll provide that service. If the family isn't home during the time of the incident, then once we get cleared by the fire marshal, we'll go in and search the house to make sure their pets aren't left in there injured or scared or, what have you.
That's awesome, because I mean, it just breaks your heart as a pet owner, when you see these pictures of these dogs that are wandering around and they don't know where their owners are, or I mean, you couldn't get home to open the door because you've been evacuated, and so the stress that the person has not knowing how their pet is that can be pretty traumatic.
Yeah. I mean, I couldn't imagine being at work and knowing like my house is on fire and my pets are in here and not knowing if anybody, like what's happening to them. And so we try to get on scene quickly and account for all the pets to make sure that the family can focus on other things, getting themselves together. And all of our responders are firefighters. So, we have the skill set to go in and work with, the chiefs on scene and other emergency response agencies. So we do it responsibly, and we make sure that everybody's accounted for and everybody's safe. So it's been a good working relationship.
I'm just curious, are the majority of pets, they're cats and dogs, or birds, snakes, like everything?
Majority cats, mostly a lot of cats, then second dogs, and then Philly is like a city of turtles for some reason, so we get a lot of turtles. It's so random, but we've seen it all. I mean, we've had a tarantula from an apartment building fire in Center City that had smoke inhalation and had to go to Penn Vet. We've had a potbelly pig, we've had snakes and birds, rabbits, you name it, we've seen it.
Yeah. Oh, that's
a
that's
horse.
But I mean, that's the reality, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So what would your advice be to someone, a pet owner? What would your advice be for them to think about in advance, so they're not stressed out, so they have some kind of plan in place?
Yep. So the most important thing is have working smoke alarms in your home. The quicker you're notified about a fire, the quicker you can grab what you need and get out. Part of that is practicing your family's fire escape plan and including your pets in that plan. So if you're asleep in the middle of the night, your smoke alarm goes off, you already know, okay, when I go to sleep at night, I'm going to bring my dog in the bedroom with me. I'm going to close the door. So if I have to get out real quick, I already know where he is. He's in here with me. I can grab him and go. Same with cats. I know a lot of people don't like to sleep with their bedroom doors closed, but it's a really important fire safety tool. It gives you an additional 30 minutes of protection from smoke and heat. Also, once you hear that smoke alarm go off, everybody is contained in that room, you grab them and then you go. But you have to practice these things. So you have to practice getting your cats into a carrier quickly, or grabbing a pillowcase in a last ditch emergency, practicing getting your dog and getting down the steps quickly. These are things that need to be practiced. The most important thing is, though, especially if you have kids, is explaining to them that they can't be looking for their dog or their cat or grabbing their turtle. They just need to practice getting out. And once you hear that smoke alarm, getting out of the house. People like me in the fire department will come in and get your pets for you. So, we want people to practice with their pets and grab their pets and practice getting out with them. But when push comes to shove, it's, life safety first. Yourself, your kids, get out of the house. It's hard to say, but sometimes that's more important than looking, if you can't get your pet, you can't get your pet. You have to get out, especially kids need to know that. So that's an important tip. And then the other thing is talking to your neighbors, letting your neighbors know how many pets you have, where you keep them when you're not home, and how to get a hold of you. So having a buddy system. So if something happens and you're at work or you're out to dinner, they can tell the fire department, hey, she has 2 dogs in her house. She usually keeps them in the kitchen when she's not home. Or, hey, I know she has a cat that, stays in the basement. So they're aware and can be looking for the pets, but also they can get a hold of you and let you know you have to come home. Something's going on at your house. The third part being you want them kind of familiar with your pets. So if the fire department finds your dogs and brings them out, they can hand them off to you and they're comfortable with you so that they don't just run loose. I mean, you don't want to come home to your house on fire and your dog missing because no one was there to handle it while you were gone. So those are the most important things I think that people can do. And they're relatively easy. I know here in Philly, you can call 311 and they'll provide free smoke alarms for you if you can't afford them. I know the Red Cross does that here as well in the country. You can contact your local chapter. So smoke alarms, number one, the most important. Practicing your fire escape plan with your entire family and then talking to your neighbors about your plan and your pets is also very important.
That's awesome. And I do think that's really important. And it's things I have not done yet with my pet, and I'm going to have to because, they're family. And
you definitely need to think about just even to talk through it, even if you don't have the time or it's too hard to actually physically practice getting your cat and putting it in a carrier in the middle of the night, talking through it with everyone so they have a sense of, how that might look. Because, once that smoke alarm goes off, you have less than 2 minutes to get out of the house. So it's something you want to really practice and do prior to it happening. I mean, and hopefully it won't, but you got to keep it in the back of your mind.
Yeah. And so as an organization, I mean, on the video, I'm going to put a link to your website so people can learn more about your organization. Do you have people calling you from other parts of the country and world saying, hey, how did you set this up? We'd love to do a similar type of model. Yeah.
We do. Yeah. We have people that reach out to us pretty frequently about it. It's one of those things we know it's needed. We have a blueprint of success. Although I think it's easier said than done. It's a pretty hard thing to have a major metropolitan city let a nonprofit group on scene of a fire or a building collapse or an explosion. It just so happens that I have had a really good working relationship with the fire commissioner when we started this. We checked all the boxes to make sure we were doing it safely and appropriately. All of our guys are firefighters, so they know how to work on scenes. We were able to get it off the ground. I don't know, and this is like something we're trying to work out right now, if this is a replicable model for other cities. I don't know that we could take this to New York or Toronto and have the fire department just let us start going into fire buildings. So we're trying to work out how to make this a replicable model, because we have like the numbers, like it's proven to be successful, it's proven to work. We know that it's needed. 65% of households have pets. 92% of those households believe that pets are family. So, $7 billion or something crazy like that is spent on pets each year. Yeah. So we know that it's something that's needed. It's just how to implement it nationally has kind of been the stumbling block for us. So, we have conversations with the fire department and Office of Emergency Management and others regularly, trying to kind of figure out how to make that happen. But,
well, good luck with that, because I think it is, I understand anytime you get involved with an emergency response type of incident management team, I mean, that's so highly controlled, and I get it, it's lives at stake, and decisions have to be made very quickly. So you don't want people just coming and going that don't know what they're doing. But I mean, the fact you're trained in firefighting, you know what those variables are and how to deal with them, and so you're trained. But,
right. I mean, our guys don't go in until the fire's out and the incident is stabilized. Because the last thing we want to do is get in the way. We let the firefighters do their thing first, and then we go from there. So, but it would be hard to get this going without having. It would be hard for us to do what we do if our guys didn't already know how to work on scene.
Exactly. Well, is there anything else you want to say or that we didn't talk about that you think is important, or?
Not really. Just fire prevention is my thing. So really having people, test their smoke alarms after they see this and talk to their families. It's really important. I know people don't think about it. They don't think it's going to happen to them. But it does. I mean, and it might not be your house. It might be your neighbor's house that catches on fire, but you're still affected. In Philly, we have row homes. And so if one house catches on fire, there's a good chance that this fire is going to spread to your house, or at least the smoke and the water. So have a plan in place for that. Make sure your homeowner's insurance and your renter's insurance is up to date. Very important after a house fire. That's a lot of times, especially in Philly, because we have a very low income population, it makes a difference between whether or not you have a place to stay after your house burns down and if your pets can go with you. If you have homeowners or renters insurance, then you can get a pet friendly hotel, and then the family can still stay together. And that's a big key to recovering quickly after a fire, is making sure all the family unit, especially including pets, can stay together. And so little stuff like that people might not think about. And it's especially renter's insurance is relatively cheap. So for not very much a month, it will make a huge difference at 3 o'clock in the morning in the middle of winter, to know that you have someplace to go and that your kids and your pets can go with you.
Well, Jennifer, thank you very much for all the work you do, not only in your firefighting job, but with Red Paw. I'm sure that people in Philly sleep a little bit better at night knowing that their pets are going to be at least cared for by an organization like yours. So thanks again, and I wish you all the best.
Thank you very much.
Okay, take care.
You too.